Okay. We back, y'all. We back. We back with another episode of the Why I'm Geeked show, man, with Ginato and the boy Chrissy Light. Say what's good to the people.
What's up, everyone? We got another one from Disney Plus, and this time it's a show. We're not doing a movie one; it's a show, and this one's gonna be good since it's gonna be series. So, an episode. I'm looking forward to see what you got to say about this one, G.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, just letting y'all know, heads up, since these shows are finally coming back, the drought is over. You know what I'm saying? Literally, we got She-Hulk that came out this week. We got House of the Dragon that's coming out as well, and then Andor next month. It's literally a month away the day we're recording this. So, possibly be expecting episodes where we're talking about multiple different shows in one. But today's episode 64, is about She-Hulk Attorney at Law, man. So I'm super excited to get into this because it's Marvel, bro. This is our bread and butter. This is what we do, you know?
Yeah.
So just to start off, bro, what was your expectations going into this thing? Because I know there was a little bit of controversy about this show when it first initially like got announced. Not only announced, but like when we saw like the first images and the first trailers and stuff like that.
I mean, that CGI. I kind of agree with a lot of people. The CGI initially, it made me raise my eyebrow and be like, "Oh, the money machine's running out." But that was the only thing I was nervous about, and also the fact that kind of their hit shows have been WandaVision, Moon Knight, and what was the other one? Loki.
Yeah.
So I was not really expecting a big time show to be She-Hulk Attorney at Law. So that was my initial impressions. But what about you before we watched the first episode?
So for me, I wasn't tripping on the CGI. I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know why. Like it just didn't look like. I don't know if people just sized it up too much or anything before I saw the trailer. But to me, it didn't look that bad. And I don't know. I think actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I watched the trailer and reacted to it first, and then like as I was editing my video, I started seeing people saying like, "Oh, the CGI is trash in this joint," and I was like, "Dang!" I was like, "I didn't think it was that bad. My eyes must be broke." You know what I'm saying? I thought I
Yeah,
had
no, I don't think
2020.
it's that bad, but it looked a little on the low end when I first saw it. That's what I thought.
See, but think about like bad CGI, I'm thinking like Sonic. You know what I'm saying? Like the first Sonic that came out, that was bad, right? And
All right.
they fixed it. So I
Yeah,
was just like, I don't know. I feel like y'all like are reading a little bit too much into this. Is a
yeah,
show,
very true.
and I'm like, yo, like this. I mean, do y'all want the show or not? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's also true.
is this going to make or break the actual show? And yes, it's like it might, but this compared to shows like Miss Marvel, I was like, bro, the Miss Marvel CGI is way worse than She-Hulk, you know? So it to me, I liked it. But like going into the first episode, I always get the jitters, right? Like it's the first one. Like I hope it's good, and I'm praying that they like set things up. So for me, like the first thing I was looking for going into it, obviously, is the origin story. What is the origin story going to really look like? Because I know She-Hulk as a character, like, and just as seeing She-Hulk in like just different, things growing up. But I never like read the comics or anything, that I like at least knew about or whatever. So, like going into this eyes wide open, I just was hoping that we got a good show. You know what I'm saying? And as far as origin stories, like I think it was pretty good. You know, for a first episode, like they fit a lot in there. What did you think?
Oh man, I agree with you. They did fit a lot in there.
Yeah.
After watching the first episode, I'm extremely worried. I'm not even gonna say a little. I'm extremely worried when it comes to this series.
Okay.
Uh, I kind of watched it and was like, dang, I really wish they had 2 episodes. But it kind of
Mhm.
reminded me, not in the similarities, I'm just saying, when I
Right.
first watched WandaVision, I had this idea too. I watched the first episode and was like, what the heck is this? Like,
Yeah.
this thing about to be garbage. Like, and then I watched the second episode and I was like, oh my God, I'm wasting my day. Like, I'm
Yeah.
losing my mind. So, like, watching She-Hulk's first episode, I was like, I have a bad feeling. Like,
Okay.
I'm not rocking with it. But I know some people saw 4 episodes already. So I'm wondering, like,
Yeah.
maybe it would have been better if they gave me more. But I mean, when I first watched WandaVision, they had 2, and I sat there and was like, oh my God. And it
Right.
took a little longer to kind of get rolling.
Mhm.
But that was kind of how they set up WandaVision. And then
Right.
also Moon Knight, it's
Yeah.
that had a different way of setting it up too, kind of like you get thrown into this stuff is already happening and we're figuring out also, and we don't really know the full story till like middle.
Yeah.
But this one kind of feels like it's not doing that. It's just a different type of show, and I'm not sure if I'm rocking with what they're doing. I'm just like, it seemed okay to me.
Okay.
So
I
that's my initial just barrage on it,
right.
because this was gonna be a I always say that because
Yeah.
there's something about him.
We just
There's
don't
something
know.
about him.
Just yeah, it's just like we gotta wait and see. But I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I did a whole recap for the joint. Like watched it, dropped it on YouTube and stuff like that. And like I feel like for me, everything changed when they broke the fourth wall, and they did that early.
They did that the first,
Frame
like,
one,
yeah, like
you
within the
know.
first 2 minutes.
So like in comparison of WandaVision, I think it's a little different because of the characters themselves. Like WandaVision, we already have like a preconceived notion of what we could expect from this episode and Wanda, because she was already in, a few movies by then, right? And it's just like the lore on Wanda is a lot more heavy than you would think compared to She-Hulk. So for me, like for this to be quote unquote like a funny lawyer show, I was like, okay, where we going? Like I was like, I like the concept of like, okay, this is supposed to be like a comedy type thing, a sitcom, but it's like, okay, is it really gonna hit on those levels that I needed to? You know what I'm saying?
And that's where I'm kind of like, I'm really worried.
Okay.
Because sometimes I'll be like, I'm kinda, but this one I'm like, I'm really, because in my opinion, I didn't laugh as much as I normally do. And I kind of
Mm.
feel like they are going for more of a sitcom-y show.
I was
And
geeked. I was
you were?
I was
Wow.
cracking up. Not at the whole thing,
Okay,
but
okay.
just like those moments that were funny, like
Yeah.
like during the whole training montage or whatever, when She-Hulk was or I'm gonna call her Jennifer, when Jen was showing up Bruce, like super
Yeah.
super showing him up, which was something that I like didn't think I was gonna like, because at this point, like Smart Hulk, as he proclaimed himself, is lame, bro. He's still lame. Like, and I just
Yeah.
don't rock with him. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
either. I don't like, even when he was delivering his lines, and
Oh
I
my
just didn't
gosh, I was
like it.
falling
I was
asleep.
like,
I was falling
is that
asleep. I was like, yo, stop talking, bruh. Like,
Yeah.
how can it be this bad? And especially, for I don't know the guy's actual name.
Mark Ruffalo?
Mark Ruffalo, right?
Yeah.
For him to be like an OG spoiler back in the day, right? He was out here leaking stuff, and I'm like, bruh, like you just didn't show up. Like you just fell asleep, bro. I get it. You didn't get your own. You don't have your own origin story movie. You don't got your own show. You know what I'm saying? And you just down bad. But like, just as much as I liked like them, for the show to be She-Hulk, She-Hulk being the star and just overall being better than Hulk in every form or fashion,
Yep.
at least right now, at with Smart Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think that was a good decision for the first episode because obviously, if Hulk really wanted to, right, he can destroy whatever. Like he is literally showing her how to be a Hulk, right? But it's just because of, I guess, like her personality and just, you know, the way that they're going about developing the characters. It just so happened that for her to succeed, Hulk has to be buns, you know. So it's like it's like once I wrap my head around that situation, I was like,
It's like I'm cool with her being stronger with than the Hulk and stuff like that. Because it's kind of like where we're starting. I mean, you're bringing
mm-hmm,
a new character, and you're
right,
establishing their baseline power level. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I mean, there was at one point we were trying to figure out how strong is Thor. You know,
mm-hmm,
how Thor versus the Hulk. Like that was a whole movie, and everyone wanted to figure
right,
out. All right, so which way are we swinging? You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? And like you said, it's Smart Hulk
yeah,
and She Hulk.
mm-hmm,
And to me, it's cool to see She Hulk being super strong, can do all this stuff already,
yeah.
and now we're kind of got the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm. I also liked how they are starting to like develop the world, right? Because this is the first time, like frame one, like when she broke the fourth wall or whatever, she was like, yes, like you're probably wondering, like, you heard right, I'm a Hulk, right? I'm
Yeah,
a Hulk, so that
I'm a
means that
Hulk.
there could be multiple. Right,
Yeah,
so they're building the whole Hulk mythos, where, you know, maybe one day we might get World Breaker Hulk. I don't know in the near future, but, you know, we're gonna have like the usual suspects in this. So seeing that, and like them establishing, like, okay, you're not going to get what you're expecting from this show right away, but I feel like if you stick with us, like, you're gonna be all right, you know what I'm saying?
that's
Because
funny.
like it's just one of those things. I feel like because like the a lot of people already seen 4 episodes. I feel like the reason why we only got one this time, because recently, like, all the Marvel shows been dropping multiple. You know what I'm saying? But this is
Yeah,
the first
normally
time they,
two.
yeah, this is the first time in a little while that we've only gotten one, and I think that was like on purpose, because it's like I feel like the first episode is a really good, you know, um, not only
It's an
just like
origin story.
conversations, yeah, origin story, but like conversation starter of like, oh man, like, is she really like that? Like, is she really like that? You know?
Yeah.
And we also got like context to, you know, what happens to the Hulk during the blip. You know, there's multiple like storylines going on.
Him
Um,
reminiscing about Tony and him building,
right,
kind of showing he still like misses Tony and
right. And it's a lot of what's the term? It's a lot of mansplaining that's
there
getting
it
pointed
is.
out, that's getting like brought out, and it's just like, that's funny, but I hope it's not like overload like throughout the whole series, like, just because like that can get old. Like, it's funny right now, but if it's just like this is the whole series, that joke is going to get old, you know. I think it's like the talk to the camera moments, like in the office or whatever. I think that's cool. um I think, you know, them bringing up things like uh Bruce's like trauma, right? Like
Mhm.
things that we as viewers and fans of Marvel have known about, but has never really been addressed in the MCU, especially with Hulk, because of the way they have treated him. It's like, okay, it's finally getting brought up now, and Hulk finally has like basically like a sparring partner if needed, you know, to be able to hash some of those things out, right? At least they like brought it to the forefront that Hulk is not okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are not okay, but it's like showing that, like, okay, not only can you like heal from this, but also like, okay, like, come on now, like you realize we're different. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I can basically I'm better than you. She had her what's the name?
Man.
She had her oh what's the
Uh-oh.
Homelander moment, right? Like I'm just better. I know how to control my anger. I do this on a regular day basis, right? Like
Mm.
she had that moment in there, and that's why I feel like this origin episode was um it gave us a lot to work with going forward, you know. And I'm just waiting on the next one to drop, honestly. But like, how do you feel like about specifically like the car crash to her cutting
Like
her arm
I just
type
really
thing?
feel like this episode needed to be an hour long just to really get the full origin story done with. Because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's cool that we got all of it out the way, but for example, the Hulk literally says like I've been the Hulk for 15 plus years type thing.
Yeah.
And like his understanding of what it means to be a Hulk
Right.
to Jen, it was like nothing. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm a Hulk. Well, I'm gonna just go back to be a lawyer. And like for anyone, everyone knows what the Hulk does in
Yeah.
the world.
Right.
And she's just like, oh, well, I can control it. It's all good. She literally almost punched the three guys outside the bar.
That was
You know
that
what I
was
mean?
that was day one though.
Yeah, I know, but she still acts like that, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
if it was an hour-long episode, we can see like kind of like her character kind of realize, okay, I need to, you know, keep myself more in check when it comes to this because once I'm out in Hulk form, I got to
Right.
understand my power at that point. Like,
Right. But I think the difference, at least with those two, is the level of consciousness when turning into the Hulk, right? Because
yeah,
if we're talking like you said, like we know what the Hulk does, right? Like the Hulk smash, that's what he does,
yeah,
right? So if Bruce, when he first became Hulk, was smart Hulk, you know what I'm saying, and he didn't have multiple personalities, then he might have had the same result, right? But it's because, to me at least, this is just in my opinion, it's because he not only has that experience, but that 15 years plus experience, but also like he has somebody directly going through the same thing, like, or she has somebody directly that has been through the same thing, so that it's not as abnormal, right? Like when Hulk first stepped onto the scene, he didn't know what he was capable of. He didn't know how to control his powers. Like he literally,
yeah,
like
yeah,
even when he was explaining, like certain triggers that happen, and what has happened because of it, it's like, because as viewers, like we've like of the MCU, we know all these different aspects of the Hulk, but when you're trying to do a show, do you really want to go back and rewatch that again?
No, I'm just saying if the episode was an hour long, it would
Mm-hmm.
at least let me understand, like, make it seem like the character is getting the information she needs from the Hulk. Boom. Like, oh, when you're fighting, you got to make sure when you power punch someone, you're
Mm-hmm.
strong enough that it's not going to hit a building type thing. She was just like, I can control this form. I'm good.
But
Like,
this
straight
but does
up.
Hulk even do that though?
But that's what I'm saying. He had a whole book because he's 15 years being the Hulk. Like,
But I
there are
think the
certain
book,
things you'd have to know being a superhero type thing. And
right,
she's just kind of like, well, because I can transform in and out the Hulk, like I'm good. I'm off to be a lawyer type thing. Well,
right,
if hypothetically, like in the courtroom thing happened, a
mm-hmm.
superhero rolls up at you because you're the Hulk now,
Right, right,
and they try to take you, like,
mm-hmm.
do you know how to fight in the city type thing? Because when he's the Hulk,
Yeah,
like Iron Man's main thing is like, crap, how am I gonna fight the Hulk in a city? Like, oh, okay, I gotta get
mm-hmm.
him away. Remember Iron Man scanned the building to make sure no one was in the building and
Right,
he used the building type thing?
right,
Like Bruce would know, okay, because you can control yourself, now this aspect, what do you have to do when if you're in the scenario where you have to be She-Hulk type thing. But she's kind of less like, I'm cool. And all I'm saying is, like, if they threw like 15 more minutes in the show,
Yeah.
I feel like him just going through the book and her getting it down because she's a lawyer, she'd be like, oh, boom, 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 boom. Oh, we're good, blah, blah. She was just kind of nonchalantly like, okay, boulder toss, boom. Okay, I'm cool. I'm just gonna return to work, type thing.
Yeah, but it's like I understand your point of like knowing your own strength, right? Realizing your own, like, the environment that you're in.
That you're now in forever.
Right. But my thing with it is, like, I feel like most of the Hulk's research in that book was based on consciousness and understanding the other guy, right? Like, he's had this. I feel like that's what the book was more so about. It was about that battle between those different personalities.
He ripped out the beginning part, remember? Like, you're still Jen, and then he ripped out that part because, like, I guess we're skipping this thing.
Yeah, but
so
like, it's like,
dang, 15 years of experience, and she's just like, bruh, I don't need that because I can transform in and out. I'm good. I was like, damn.
Yeah, but it's like it's like you can't force her to necessarily like do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's the reason why we don't have a Hulk movie to this day, or not a Hulk movie, but like a new MCU Hulk movie to this day. It's because it's like, how many ways can you show the Hulk like beating something up? Like, you told this to me like a long time ago. It's like, how many ways can you show like the Hulk smashing something, or smashing the building, smashing the character?
I'm just saying the length of the episode, it's so fast. Like, they go through everything that at the end of the episode, it kind of just feels like she with the Hulk was kind of like, oh, because I can transform in and out, I'm good. Like, that's the impression I got from her. And like, to me, they needed a little bit more time to show, like, no, she did condense what Bruce was telling her, but the whole vibe I got was kind of like, oh, I'm better than you, and then I can transfer in and out. I'm kind of good, Bruce. I'm just gonna go back to my job type thing. You know what I mean? Kind of like that nonchalant, thanks for the advice, but I'm good.
Yeah, but
that's what I got from her.
Right, but I think like, with more episodes, it'll work itself out, just because it's like her goal is to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where she wants to fight. And
but that's also why
this
I'm
is also
like,
but look,
not feeling the show right now. I'm like,
yeah, but it's also a different world too. Right? This is post blip. This is like, people are used to seeing aliens and superheroes and things like that. Like, when they was having that conversation about it, like, before they fought, it's like, yo, I have a whole life to get back to, right? Bruce didn't have that. Bruce doesn't have anywhere else to go. So what else is he going to do but try to understand, like, not only gamma radiation, but also like, because I don't know how much there is to being a Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's that much.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
on the tactical side,
the show's vibe. If we're following her, okay, we got the origin story kind of out the way.
Yeah,
but you're mixing in this like comedy thing of like, what is it? Fish out of water Hulk,
right?
A fish out of water Hulk movie or show, and the first episode, I kind of didn't get that vibe of being a fish out of water Hulk. It was kind of like, oh, I'm the Hulk. All right, well, I'm gonna go back to my life being a lawyer. So then I'm kind of like, all right, moving on to the next episode, we don't have the fish out of water being a Hulk thing anymore. Are you just like a Hulk that's fine in the city? Like, what am I like? Kind of like, what?
I just don't. I don't know. I don't know how. Show? Yeah, but I don't know how making the show an hour would necessarily fix that. Like,
I'm just saying, it to me, the way they shot it, it's like the origin story is so fast that now she is just good. Like, she's good. I got everything down from Bruce. I don't
Yeah.
really need the whole what Bruce needed to tell me type thing. That's the impression I got from her. So
Right.
now, if the show's not a fish out of water Hulk movie or show,
Mhm.
like the next episode, she's not going to be like stumbling, breaking couches, doing Hulk things in the apartment type comedy things.
You don't.
Like, what are we?
I
What are
think
we
so.
doing?
Cause I think it's like, cause yes, he told her like certain things, like
But
getting like the bed, right? There's things like
yeah,
that, but I think she's still gonna have to adjust to, like, cause did you watch the trailer
the trailer of.
of
Oh
She-Hulk?
yeah.
So you see, like, that she's going to get entered into that like new program or whatever, or
Yeah.
like supervillains and stuff like that. So I feel like that's where the show really, really begins. I feel like as far as like an origin, like I feel like the whole show is gonna be an origin story, just like with
Really?
like Moon Knight, right? Because we didn't get the final conclusion until like what, like the second to last episode of like who
Yeah.
Moon Knight really is. I think like origin story in this case is more of like a loose term. Like I just wanted to know, like when I said earlier, like her origin story, I just want to know, how does she become the Hulk itself, right?
Yeah.
Like how does she become a Hulk? And we got that answer in this first episode. That's why for me it works. But I understand what you're saying.
I guess it's kind of like, I get it's an origin story,
Yeah,
but the show, like kind of
right,
like WandaVision, we didn't even know what the show was
right,
until later.
right.
I didn't get that impression from this. It kind of felt like this is the origin story, and you're kind of getting a glimpse of what the show is kind of going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they did the first episode,
Mm-hmm.
the next episode, I'm kind of like, what is the pool? What is the
Was it bringing you back?
yeah, like that's why I was hoping like another episode, because it just kind of feels like it's not a Hulk out of water story where she's just like, she's good at everything at being a Hulk. So what you know what I mean? If she was not good at being a Hulk and then she's an attorney and then it's like a sitcom of her like low key messing up stuff in New York because she's a Hulk, but she's also working. Like I get, okay.
Okay.
Like,
okay. I see what you're
we
saying.
Struggling out here because you're a Hulk, and Bruce
Okay.
is too busy to help you out, be a Hulk type thing.
Right.
But I'm not getting that from this. It's kind of like, oh, she's good.
Yeah, because usually in these types of stories, it's all right. My personal life was messed up before I got these powers.
Yeah.
And now that I got these powers, my outlook on life is a lot better, but my real life got way more complicated.
Yeah, like my boyfriend situation's messed up now because whenever we kiss, it's getting hot and heavy.
So there's no real conflict.
Yeah, I may smack him out the, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. A longer initial episode, like Bruce could be like, understand, hey, certain things. But she was like, "Oh, I can transform in and out. I'm good." I'm like, "Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll buy that. I'm cool with it." But it's like, all right. So what's this next episode? Like, what are we kind of like?
We need more. I mean, that's why we need more. But I feel like, based on what we done seen in the trailer, if it's gonna be like a fish out of water, like, because we don't even know who like. At this point, we don't know who the plaintiff was, like who she was going against, right? And we also don't know why that lady broke into the building like that. Like, was
that
she
was
the one?
Corny as hell.
I didn't know.
Corny as
like
she was just like,
right. And I was like, does she have boomerangs? I was like, what is that? Like, what?
And then she punched man this girl. I was like, bro.
Right. But she Hulk about that action though, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's just. It was one of those things where there was definitely portions of the show where I was like, okay, this is corny, right? But for me, I feel like they got a lot of the corny stuff out the way early, and it was more so like, let's make her look as cool as possible, right?
They did do that. I ain't gonna lie. I feel what you're saying.
To get people invested in the character, and then we'll like roll out what the story is actually going to be about, because it's
Yeah,
She-Hulk, attorney at law, right?
and that's why I
So
kind of wanted a second episode to really
mhm,
get the feeling. But like I said,
yeah,
originally with WandaVision, I
right,
was like, bro,
yeah,
what is this? Like, this ain't even a show. Like, because
but
the
it
first two episodes are like not even close to
right,
the show, but it was like how they were picturing the story. And like this one,
right,
I'm like, it's an origin episode type thing,
hmm
but is the next episode, will she do the fourth wall break? Ha 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 ha, ba ba
for
ba. And this
sure.
is what happened.
She was doing it all episode. So like for me, is I think the WandaVision episode is a lot harder to compare, just because we got prior context to Wanda, so we know who, you know, we're going to go see. Like for I'll bring it to Moon Knight. For Moon Knight, we didn't really know anything other than this man keeps
Yeah,
blacking
but
out.
the storyline, yeah, like
Yeah,
Moon Knight, it's like, okay, this man keeps blacking out and something's going on around him.
right,
For She-Hulk,
right,
we have no storyline based on the first episode, but it's like
right.
an episode of this is
Who she
because
is.
she did the fourth wall break and was like,
Hmm.
so I'm a Hulk, so I get, oh, the first episode is I'm a Hulk, like
Right.
how I became a Hulk.
So
But the second episode, is she gonna fourth wall break and be like, so this is how I met Daredevil?
see, nah, nah,
Like, you
nah.
see it, like
So
what is
okay.
the show at that point?
The show, they said it multiple times. Said it a couple times. In it. It's a funny lawyer show, right? So she's a lawyer. Daredevil's a lawyer.
Yeah,
So that's the connection right there, right? But it's like I don't
funny
think,
lawyer show.
yeah, I don't think, I feel like we reading into it too much, as far as like what we're used to seeing, like coming off of Moon Knight. You know, there are so many like hidden gems within each episode that led up to a big thing, whereas like She-Hulk is like kind of more so like, all right, this is what's happening. You know, like there's not as much mystery to what we've seen so far. Does that make sense?
I, like, yeah, but I'm like, so we watched one episode of She-Hulk.
Hmm.
The next episode is just another day at the office.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, like
Yeah, but
until
that's what I'm saying. It's like two different episodes type thing. Like we see her learning to be the Hulk.
mhm.
So then the next episode, we're seeing her job as a attorney. You see what I'm saying? Like, is it just
Well,
like then we see her try to get a boyfriend? Then we see, is that the type of show we're watching?
we started off seeing her as a lawyer, then we had a flashback,
Yeah,
and then
but
we're
it didn't
back to
seem like
present
they're leaning
time.
towards the lawyer stuff, because they were very, very vague on the lawyer details. So I'm not like, I don't think it's like a crime show of she's gonna actually be putting someone down with a case. You know what I mean? She just happens to be a lawyer type thing.
No,
Kind of like
I don't think it's she just
Big
happens to be a
Bang.
lawyer.
No, like Big Bang. You
Big
know,
Bang
like when,
Theory.
yeah, when you watch that, they're scientists, but we're not really watching their lives
As scientists.
doing. Yeah, we're seeing scientists' lives, and
Yeah,
they're just like, oh, this is a sciencey joke. This is blah blah blah, and he's quirky like this. Like
right. But I okay, so okay, I see what you're
that's why I'm
saying.
trying to figure out what
I see what you're
is this
saying.
show.
So this is not like we're gonna be in court every single episode
Yeah,
and trying to bring this person to justice or whatever.
yeah.
This is okay. I see what you're saying. So
Like, I'm just trying to get the vibe of, is that the show? But because we only saw one episode, and the
mhm.
episode is more of, so I became a Hulk. So I'm a
Does that
Hulk.
make it bad though? In greater
It makes
context to
me
the whole show?
wonder. It makes me wonder if I'll like the show. Like,
Okay.
like, okay, I
Yeah.
catch it, but
What for me, everything got summed up when they said it's a funny lawyer show. I was like, okay,
yeah,
this is what it is.
but
But we
you
haven't
said you were
seen it though.
laughing through it. I was kind of like,
Yeah.
uh. Like
I,
the only part I laughed at was when Bruce was like, I gave my blood is like a lethal dose of gamma
Oh
radiation.
yeah.
And she was like, I'm gonna die? And
Yeah.
he's like, no. He's like, you can't just leave off on that. That was the only
Right.
part I laughed at. The rest, I was like, all right.
So you
All
didn't
right.
laugh during the part where in the when they start throwing
end
the
scene?
boulders? Nah, when they start throwing the
No.
boulders
I
and
was,
stuff. And she was like,
I was just like,
man, I was cracking up, bro. I was geeked. I was like, yo, ain't no way you just do that, bro. Because for me, it's just like, I don't know. The Hulk itself is such a disservice. Like, Small Hulk is not it. Like, even you know, his first initial seeing him in the car, right?
Yeah, I did not like his dialogue at all. Like,
Yeah.
Small Hulk talking was like,
it's like, bro, let's get to at least in Endgame, he had some charisma, right? Like, he was like,
it was so like flat because he's supposed to like keep, because that's how Hulk has to maintain himself. But it was just like, bro, I can't. This is rough with you, man. It did remind me, the episode. It reminded me of pilot episodes. How pilot episodes really don't really hit you with, dang, this is the best thing I've ever seen. It's just kind of like a preview of what we can do. And it just felt really heavy on the first episode for me.
Okay. I respect that. Yeah. Yeah. Dang. Cause it's like, for me, it's like from what we seen in the trailer. Now I'm scared. You got me scared now.
I'm worried.
Because
I'm worried.
If the you know, her finding a boyfriend and her going to that little country club thing, like,
because it's like, how do I catch the vibe of this? It's so we got origin story out the way, and now I'm really like, those people that saw 4 episodes, like, what were they? Like,
I know. What did y'all see? Like, cause for me, from what I've seen from the trailer, the most exciting thing was seeing Abomination and seeing that facility that they were in. That it's like, okay, we're gonna start this new program, right? And it was like, okay, like, so now essentially, she's gonna be a superhero lawyer, right? But instead of just being a lawyer, she got powers, so if they don't want to act right, she can put them back in jail. That's what I thought the show was gonna be about, right? That's what I got from the trailer. But like, anytime like I look up like images, whether I'm like trying to do a thumbnail or getting ready for this pod, you know, I keep seeing this picture of them at the little country club thing, right? And I'm like, dang, I know I'm not gonna like this part of the movie, right, or the show, because even like her having her whole consciousness, it's like,
you don't even get like the Moon Knight thing where they were like talking back and forth type. So it's just like, I'm really hoping they got some good like.
But what if
episodes?
That's like
coming?
No,
I don't think
no. What if her extra personality, is her talking to us?
Yeah, so I'm hoping that because they do the fourth wall break anyway, I'm hoping they do it more often. But what I got from the first episode, it was just in the beginning, and then towards the end when she went back to do the court case. Like, it wasn't really like.
But also at the bar with Hulk, right? Because she said it out loud, and they heard it, and Hulk heard it. She was like, Hulk was fixing the bar, right? And I don't remember what she said exactly, but she was like, it's like she was holding up the bar while what's the name was like, he said something like,
it's like, okay, I'm sorry, I tried to keep you. You can go back to. I respect you if you go back to be a lawyer.
Right, and it's like, he knows I'm right, or something like that.
Oh,
and she looked at the camera.
I think you're right.
And then.
You're right.
Yeah, and then they did it again. But it's like if it's moments like that, like, or if those moments that we've seen that look really corny are few and far between, I think we'll be all right.
Sure.
But if that's the main draw, if this just becomes a dating show, like, it's like, that's not going to be interesting.
Dating. necessarily, but like
give that full experience of what, all the questions you would have of like, okay, what's the first thing you would do if you became the Hulk?
Yeah, like
She-Hulk, right?
In the city, like there's a lot of stuff material you could play with, but I kind of feel like they erased it immediately. So I'm interested to see what happens, because like I said, in the trailer there is a lot more that they've already kind of alluded to.
Yeah.
But that first episode, I was kind of like, I'm not getting a sense of the show yet because it's an origin story, and like we just right off the bat, she's stronger than a Hulk. She can change out of her powers, and she's going back to be a lawyer. And it's like, okay, cool. But if they would have gave me just one more episode, like my fears would be gone. But for now, they're there. They're strong.
Yeah, for me, I never got that sense though.
Yeah, that's good then.
That she was stronger than that she was stronger than the Hulk.
I mean, she did that clap thing, and
but it's like everything like it was always in reaction to the Hulk, right? So the only time that the Hulk really showed her up was when he threw that meteor out into space, which is like, if you're so smart, that thing has to come down at some point, right? Or hit something. What if you hit a freaking plane or something?
Yeah, or if it throws it fast enough, it'll burn up in the atmosphere.
Yeah, but it's like it was things like
that.
Yeah,
but that is true. Like, hey, make sure you don't be throwing stuff. Because you would think the Hulk said, I've practiced enough that I know what would burn up in the atmosphere versus what if I toss it, it's just gonna toss and hit a city type thing.
Right. So it's like it was like, it's cool seeing that. Like, I understood, like, okay, they're just making her look really cool right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm fine
but it's like, if Hulk really wanted to, he could have destroyed that whole beach, like with one punch, like, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
I just think the people who are so upset that like she's strong already, I'm just like what you said. We don't need to see her go through the entire training arc of her now getting close to the Hulk. Like, it's cool if her power level is right here, because at this point, when it comes to even TV shows, we want a cool storyline, and then we want to see you somehow later on in the future. Yeah. So then the next time we see you, we already got this. We're not doing this in movies type thing.
Right. I think. Okay, so because I think like the best case scenario is like, she thinks she got it, right? But then she surely finds out like, oh, I might not got it. Like,
exactly. So if they do that, I'm cool with it. But like the first episode vibes, she was just like, yo, I got this now. I'm ready to go back to be a lawyer type thing. I was like, all right. I mean, and then she was
spitting though. She was spitting, bro. She was telling them how it was though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Hulk,
but like the Hulk been through some serious trauma, bro. Like he almost like killed himself and type like that. Like,
but we never go back.
He shot the gun.
Right. Yeah. We never go back in time though, as far as like what happened before he was the Hulk. Before he was the Hulk though.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? Because this man dad was just a menace, bro, and that's why he got the different personalities. The Hulk can't go back
to like normal work like that either. He has to work remotely type thing.
And his work was already remote. Like, his job wasn't like, I'm a firefighter or like out in the public. So he never had to go through that, which is why it only makes sense for his biggest thing would be, trying to tame his multiple different personalities. Now, for Jen, I think it's a cool spinoff or different, aspect to, it's like, okay, you don't have to have a different personality, So really, I guess what you're searching for, if I'm understanding this correctly, is like, what is her trope? What is the thing that she's trying to overcome? And for me, I think it's confidence in her ability to be a lawyer, because dude,
I can see it.
Dude was like, don't mess this up. Like, he was all in her ear. He was on her back, bro. And I was just like, yo, fall back, yo. Like, she got this. You know what I'm saying? And like, if she's anything like Charlie Cox as Daredevil as a lawyer, like, they could definitely, go back and forth as far as like what he didn't learn, because Daredevil was freaking, he was going through it as a lawyer. At first, he wasn't making no bread, but now after being Spidey's lawyer, that might be the next thing. But I guess they're on opposite sides of the spectrum because he's defending people versus prosecution. So
yeah.
there's that dynamic too. But
yeah,
there's
we just got to see.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know a lot of people were hating on it originally because CGI, and then a lot of people didn't like the first episode. But overall, like, it wasn't horrible, but
it's just the pictures, bro. In motion, like when you're trying to screenshot a picture, it's going to look bad.
In motion, it look fine to me.
That's what I'm saying.
I think because Jen's skin is like smooth, and then the Hulk has like that rusty look.
The beard.
Yeah,
and
I'm just like, they're literally, one does not have hair on their face, and then the other got the full beard. Like, come on, y'all. Like,
like
overall, I can't wait for episode 2. I'm really, really hoping I laugh more, and then
I was cracking up. Going. I wasn't cracking up the whole time, but when it was laughing time, I was laughing. You know, but I respect that. Yeah, that's all I pretty much got for this, man. I will be going on just so y'all know, I will be out of town this week. So next week, we're gonna do a double episode for House of Dragons. You know what I'm saying? Because that joint, or House of the Dragon, that joint doesn't come out till tonight. So you know what I'm saying? We'll do it like that. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Chris, what you geeked about this week, man?
Man. It has to be House of the Dragon. There's like I can't think of anything for the next 3 hours other than I hope this thing is good. Yeah. I'd be hating on a lot of stuff, but overall, I'm just hoping a clean, smooth start. And if this thing lets me down in 10 years later, it is what it is.
10 years later.
They gonna milk it.
Yeah. I mean, they can. So I'm geeked about Tekken, bro. The Tekken Netflix anime, bro. That joint kind of go crazy. I ain't gonna cap. I started watching it the other day, and it was like I seen the trailer. I was gonna do a whole reaction to it or whatever, but I ended up doing it because I was just busy. But the show itself, I don't know that much about the game.
Oh, it's so fun.
I never really played it.
I used to play in arcades way back when I was a toddler. I was 4-year-old, just.
I mean, I definitely played it before, like at like Pizza Hut and stuff like that. Like whenever it was either Street Fighter or whatever when they had. But I never when it came to console, I was like, I'm not a fighting game guy. But I'm definitely gonna get Street Fighter 6 though, because I just feel like it's time. You know what I'm saying? But that show so far is really good. I don't know how many episodes it is. I'm on episode 3 right now. Starting up this little tournament type beat. It's a shonen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's Baki yet, but it's close.
They got you geeked for sure. I can tell.
It's close, bruh. So if y'all like Tekken, definitely check that joint out. I know it's Netflix. You know what I'm saying? But this is not live action. It's animation.
And definitely, I need to see the comments for She-Hulk on this video because there's just so many different opinions on it, and it'd be cool to see episode 1 to the finale, like how this thing progressed. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, because everything I done seen so far, like of people who are watching the first 4 episods, they've liked.
Have you heard people talk about them or no?
I've only seen the thumbnails. Everybody cheesing in them Jones. That's like everybody's like excited about it. So I was just like, dang, well. But that's what I'm geeked about. That's what we geeked about, man. If y'all enjoyed this episode, definitely hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. We're still going to be having episodes dropping throughout the week, like clips and stuff like that. So definitely stay tuned to the YouTube channel. And the next time y'all hear us on the RSS feed, the podcast stuff, will be next week. So definitely tune in. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Y'all know the vibes, And yeah, stay geeked.
Catch
Peace.
y'all later.